Have you ever felt overwhelmed by the chaos and negativity of everyday life? What if I told you there's a life philosophy that can help you find peace and clarity amidst all of this? Negativity is everywhere. Bad news, criticism, pessimistic people, constant demands. It feels like there's no escaping that heavy feeling, and the more you're exposed to it, the more drained you become. You can't escape the world's negativity, but you can protect yourself from it. And Japanese minimalism teaches exactly how to do that. It's not just about owning fewer things or organizing your space. It's about keeping your mind free from what weighs you down and focused on what truly matters. Today, I'm going to show you why this mindset can be the strongest barrier against everything that steals your peace. Small adjustments that create a psychological shield against the overwhelming chaos. So stick with me until the end, because this might just change the way you see your life. The weight of too much information, too much noise, too many things happening at once. From the moment we wake up, we're bombarded with bad news, extreme opinions, and messages that only make our minds more cluttered. Even when we try to stay calm, something always seems to pull us into more worry, more irritation, more mental exhaustion. This isn't a coincidence. The world is overloaded, and this excess is what wears down your peace. In Japan, this approach is entirely different. Minimalism isn't just about decorating with fewer pieces of furniture or making a space look visually clean. It's a mental and emotional defense. It's a way to choose what you truly want to let into your life and what needs to be blocked out. And it works. Because when you learn to reduce what weighs you down, you create space for what strengthens you. That's exactly why cutting excess lightens your mental load. Everything you accumulate unnecessarily, things, worries, social, media, toxic people, it all takes up space that could be filled with what actually matters. When you eliminate the excess, what's left is more mental clarity, more tranquility, and less wasted energy on things that aren't worth it. In a world where we are constantly bombarded with information, stimuli, and obligations, learning to reduce excess becomes an essential necessity. Just like our physical space, our minds become overwhelmed when we accumulate too much. Owning too many things, dealing with unnecessary worries, and exposing ourselves to negative content can lead to exhaustion and prevent us from focusing on what truly matters. That's why cutting excess isn't just about organization. It's a step toward well-being and a better quality of life. Start by paying attention to what you consume daily. What's taking up space in your mind and draining your energy? This can show up in different ways. A social media feed full of negative news, relationships that bring more stress than support, or clutter in your home that no longer serves a purpose. All of this creates an often invisible mental overload that affects your mood, productivity, and even your emotional health. One of the most effective ways to reduce this burden is by practicing digital detox. Social media is one of the biggest sources of excess in today's world. We endlessly scroll through our feeds, looking for something interesting, but we end up consuming negative content, comparing our lives to unrealistic realities, or overwhelming ourselves with useless information. Clean up your feed, mute or unfollow profiles that bring negative emotions, limit your screen time, and filter what truly adds value to your day. This simple change can bring an incredible sense of relief. The same applies to toxic people. Relationships should be sources of support and growth, not emotional drain and negativity. Often, out of habit or fear of change, we keep in touch with people who bring us down, constantly complain, or deplete our energy with their negativity. Learning to set boundaries is essential. You don't have to cut everyone out of your life, but you can reduce the frequency with which certain influences affect your emotional balance. Beyond relationships, evaluate the habits you cultivate. Small, repeated behaviors can contribute more to your exhaustion than you realize. Constant exposure to bad news fuels anxiety. Procrastination leads to a buildup of tasks, and lack of rest can result in burnout. Mental overload isn't just about what we do, it's also about the environment we live in. Your space reflects your mind. Cluttered environments hold stagnant energy. A clean and organized space changes the way you feel. In Japan, tranquility begins at home. If the place where you spend most of your time is chaotic, your mind will be too. Our surroundings have a direct impact on our mental state. A disorganized space can create stress, anxiety, and even make it harder to focus. When we live surrounded by purposeless objects or in a messy home, our minds become overloaded with visual and emotional stimuli. On the other hand, keeping a clean, organized, and minimalist space promotes a sense of calm, clarity, and productivity. Japanese culture deeply values the connection between physical space and mental well-being. The concept of MA, or empty space, is widely applied in Japanese architecture and interior design. This idea suggests that empty space isn't something that needs to be filled, but something valuable in itself. This creates a feeling of lightness and flow in the environment, directly reflecting on the tranquility of those living in it. Additionally, practices such as osuji, daily cleaning, and Marie Kondo's organization method, which encourages keeping only items that truly bring joy, show that taking care of your space is an extension of taking care of yourself. A harmonious, clutter-free home leads to greater mental clarity and a stronger sense of balance. Start by observing your environment right now. Look around. Does your space bring you peace or unease? Are there piles of papers collecting dust? Random objects scattered with no real purpose? Clothes you haven't worn in years taking up space in your closet? Often, without realizing it, we surround ourselves with things that no longer serve us. Every object carries energy and memories, and when we hold on to unnecessary items, we maintain a connection to something that no longer aligns with our lives. When we align our environment with our well-being and intentions, we experience a significant shift in how we feel. An organized space leads to a calmer mind, improved focus, and reduced stress. But it's not just physical clutter that affects our balance. The excess noise around us can also be a major thief of peace. Use silence as a tool for protection. Constant noise, endless notifications, shallow conversations, all of these drain your mind without you even realizing it. In Japan, silence is valued because it allows for mental rest. Reducing external noise creates space to listen to what truly matters: your intuition, your peace, and your own rhythm. We live in a world where noise is constant. From the moment we wake up until we go to sleep, we are surrounded by sound stimuli, phone notifications, background music, traffic, TV, podcasts, messages, calls, meetings. There is little time left for true silence. This excess of noise can be mentally exhausting and increase our stress levels without us even realizing it. In Japanese culture, silence is a form of respect, introspection, and balance. In many Zen temples, for example, it is an essential part of the experience, allowing people to connect with themselves and the present moment. The concept of MA, which can be translated as empty space, also applies to sound. It emphasizes the importance of moments when there are no words or noise, because it is in these pauses that we can reflect and regain our mental energy. Silence does not mean a lack of communication, but rather a conscious choice to give the mind space to rest. We are often so immersed in auditory distractions that we cannot hear our own thoughts. We lose the opportunity to reflect, to recognize our emotions, and to make decisions with greater clarity. If you feel like your mind is too restless, try setting aside a few minutes each day for complete silence. No TV, no phone, no interruptions. Just you and the present moment. It could be early in the morning when the city is still quiet, or at night before going to sleep. Try sitting in a silent space and observe how it affects your well-being. By embracing silence, you realize that it is not empty, but full of meaning. It calms the mind, reduces stress, and enhances mental clarity. In this state of tranquility, you begin to notice something even deeper: the influence of your environment and the people around you. The energy of those close to you directly affects your emotional state. Having too many superficial connections can be more draining than enriching. Minimalism is not just about removing objects, but also about carefully choosing who has space in your life. We live in an era of hyperconnectivity, where it seems that the more people we have around us, whether physically or digitally, the better. However, empty connections or toxic relationships can overwhelm your mind, drain your energy, and prevent you from building truly meaningful bonds. Surrounding yourself with many people does not mean having good friendships, just as accumulating objects does not mean having more comfort. When it comes to relationships, quality is always more important than quantity. In Japan, minimalism applies not only to physical spaces, but also to interpersonal relationships. There is a strong emphasis on introspection and on building bonds based on respect, depth, and trust, relationships that prioritize presence over quantity. Applying this concept to your personal relationships can bring a greater sense of purpose and well-being. If you feel your energy is scattered, or that certain relationships bring more strain than happiness, it is important to take a conscious look at your social circle. Ask yourself, who truly adds value to my life? Which people make me feel light and genuinely happy after a conversation or meeting? Which relationships exist only out of obligation or convenience? Are there people who constantly drain me emotionally? Reflecting on this can be challenging, but it is a fundamental step in creating a lighter and healthier reality. Connect with people who uplift you. Seek relationships that encourage your growth, where there is mutual respect and space to share meaningful moments. Being surrounded by people with whom you can be your authentic self is essential for a lighter and more fulfilling life. Fewer, but better. Choosing to be surrounded by fewer but genuine companions brings clarity and ease. After all, authentic relationships nurture, while superficial connections drain. But this principle does not apply only to people. It also extends to how we interact with the world and everything it offers. We live in a reality that pushes us in the opposite direction, encouraging endless accumulation, more money, more status, more recognition, more possessions. The constant bombardment of messages reinforcing this mindset wears down the mind and creates a never-ending sense of dissatisfaction. It never seems to be enough. In Japan, the culture of being enough is liberating. The concept of tariru, which means to be enough, teaches that true peace does not come from the endless pursuit of more, but from the ability to appreciate what we already have. While Western societies often measure success by the accumulation of possessions and achievements, Japanese minimalism focuses on lightness and contentment. You don't need to prove anything to anyone. Society conditions us to believe that happiness is always in the next goal: a better job, a more attractive body, a bigger house, more expensive clothes. But this cycle is infinite. As soon as we reach one milestone, another appears, and dissatisfaction lingers. Finding peace means learning to look at the present and recognize what already brings us happiness before chasing after more. Instead of focusing on what is missing, try noticing something in your life that is already enough. It could be your current health, the people around you, a simple moment of tranquility, or even an achievement you've never truly taken the time to appreciate. Small moments of gratitude can neutralize the feeling of scarcity and bring more lightness to your mind. When you realize you already have enough to be happy, a deep sense of relief takes over your mind and heart. This feeling of fulfillment allows you to let go of the relentless pursuit of what's missing and truly appreciate what you already have. And with that clarity, you gain more serenity and focus on what truly matters. However, this same serenity can easily be disrupted by the overwhelming amount of information we consume daily. We live in the information age, which brings many benefits but also challenges. We are constantly connected to news, trends, social media posts, and opinions, all of which can overload our minds and increase anxiety. Whether it's alarming headlines, emotionally charged debates, or pessimistic comments, we are surrounded by stimuli that, in excess, can be harmful to our mental well-being. The issue is not just the content itself, but the impact it has on our emotional state. Just as we carefully choose what we eat to nourish our bodies, we should also be mindful of what we feed our minds. The absence of external stimuli may feel strange at first, but many people report a sense of relief and tranquility when they reduce their intake of toxic information. Removing the excessive data creates space for introspection, creativity, and emotional well-being. Replace toxic information with uplifting books, inspiring podcasts, educational videos, and meaningful conversations. By doing so, you create room for greater mental clarity. Less noise, more peace. The digital world can be a powerful tool, but it is essential to consciously choose what you allow into your mind, bringing more focus and emotional balance. Just as we should be selective with our digital consumption, it is also crucial to slow down the frantic pace at which we live. We are always rushing, as if running from something invisible. This constant urgency, fueled by our obsession with productivity, can leave us in a continuous state of alertness. It is exhausting and harmful to our mental health. In Japan, intentional moments of contemplation are seen as essential for balancing the mind and strengthening emotional resilience. The practice of contemplation is a way to slow down and reconnect with the present. It allows us to step out of autopilot mode and appreciate the beauty and simplicity around us. These small moments of pause can be incredibly restorative, helping to reduce stress and accumulated negativity throughout the day. Less hurry, more presence. Constant rushing disconnects us from the present and prevents us from appreciating the beauty around us. Creating moments of pause and contemplation is a simple yet powerful practice that can transform your life. By slowing down and observing the world more attentively, you will find more peace, clarity, and gratitude. Try it today. Take a few minutes to observe something simple and beautiful. Allow yourself to be present and see how these small moments of contemplation can reduce negativity and bring more lightness to your day. Japanese minimalism is not just about aesthetics or organization. It's a defense against everything that weighs you down, against everything that drains your energy. When you choose to limit excess, you are choosing to protect your peace. These habits are simple, yet powerful. They help create a barrier against negativity and bring more lightness to your everyday life. Now tell me, what can you eliminate today to feel lighter? Comment below. I will remove what weighs me down, and let me know what you will change in your life. I want to hear which of these habits you will apply to protect your peace. If this content resonated with you, give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Here, we talk about how minimalism can transform your life by bringing more lightness and well-being. Share this video with someone who also needs protection from negativity. Let's spread this message and help more people find peace amidst the chaos. The world has an excess of everything: information, consumption, and pressure. But you don't have to absorb it all. You can create your own space of lightness. Choose what's worth it. Choose what strengthens you. The rest, let it go. Remember, peace lies in the small daily choices, and you have the power to make these choices. So start today. Let go of what weighs you down, value what matters, and live with more lightness. See you in the next video.